This video took 30 seconds to create, this other one 45 seconds, and this one barely 20 seconds. The difference wasn't the tool I used or my experience creating videos. It was something much simpler but more powerful, the exact way I wrote my prompts. Today I'm going to teach you the secret that professional creators use to generate incredible videos consistently. It's called JSON prompts, and after watching this video, you'll never generate content the traditional way again. And while we watch the video, I want you to tell me in the comments what your biggest frustration is when generating videos with AI. Is it the inconsistency of results, the lack of control, or that sometimes something completely different from what you had in mind comes out? Well, to start, let's see what JSON prompts are. JSON prompts are data structures that allow us to define exactly how we want our video to be. Instead of using only descriptive text, we can specify parameters like duration, visual style, camera movements, and much more. The advantage is that we get much more consistent and controlled results. For all these examples, we're going to use this platform called Freebeat. Freebeat is a platform that acts as a hub for various AI models, including Veo 3, Runway, Pika, Kling, and others. What makes Freebeat special is that it allows us to access Veo 3 with complete support for JSON prompts, something that not all platforms offer. Now, it's important to mention that Freebeat is not a free platform, but they give you trial credits the moment you register here on the homepage. They also have very economical plans that make it accessible for most creators. Now that we know Freebeat, let's analyze the basic structure of an effective JSON prompt for this platform. Let's suppose we want to generate an advertising video for a perfume called Chilli sin Carne, or chili without meat in Spanish. First, we need to understand what we're creating. Chilli sin Carne suggests something intense, modern, perhaps with a touch of mystery, a provocative name that mixes spicy with elegant. We're going to create something that captures that essence. Step 1. We define the base concept. Here, we start with the description saying to make a premium perfume bottle called Chilli sin Carne that has red liquid inside, some chilies floating, and has a luxurious black background. For the style, we can tell it to be luxurious and a cinematic commercial. Then we continue with lighting. We'll tell it to be dramatic and have a reddish tone and have a rim around the edges. Then we can add the camera. So we write camera and tell it to have a very slow orbital movement, meaning it goes around the product. Then we add motion or movement, and we tell it also to be a subtle movement and a smooth 360-degree movement around the object with some illuminations and reflections. Then we have elements. Here, we'll tell it to have glass illuminations, also a bokeh background, meaning very shallow depth of field, and also very subtle light rays. Finally, we end with the mood or what we want people to feel when they see this video. So we'll tell it to be elegant, also have something spicy and luxurious. So we proceed to generate the video based on this prompt that we've already assembled manually. So what we do here is go back to Freebeat, and here in the text to video section, we're going to select the Veo 3 fast model and paste our prompt. So notice that when we use audio, they take 1,400 credits, while if we leave it without audio, it's only 880 credits. And well, here we're going to generate it and wait to see what the result is. Well, after about 30 seconds, here we have our result. Notice that it followed exactly as we described in the prompt. With the chilies inside, the lighting, the background, the sparkles, everything. So this is the result using our manual prompt. The other option is to upload to ChatGPT the concept of the product/video and the structure of how we want it to be formed, and tell it create a JSON prompt following this structure, and also tell it not to exceed 1,500 characters. to show the versatility of JSON prompts, we're going to create another video for the Chilli Carne campaign, this time focusing on the emotional aspect of the perfume. Notice how the same product can have completely different interpretations using this JSON prompt structure. The key is understanding that each JSON prompt is a specific recipe for a specific result. Professionals use this structure of elements, cinematic descriptions, and defined endings to have total control over what they're generating. For example, here we have this other example of Corona, and here we have our prompt. To get professional results, you need to know these advanced parameters that are used in the most effective JSON prompts. Let's see the basic parameters. Description is the main description of what you want to see. We also have style and environment. Style is the visual style. For example, we can say photorealistic, cinematic, futuristic, or minimalist, etc. We also have camera. Here we can say what type of movement, for example, wide push in, orbital shots, or dolly forward. We have motion, how objects move in the scene. Elements is the group of specific objects in the scene. Environment is the general setting or environment. And finally, we have ending, the end of our scene, which is super important for determining how to end the shot. I'll also leave a link with a document so you can download all these prompts in the description of this video. Well, now let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of using JSON prompts. Advantages: granular control. You can specify exactly every aspect of the video. Consistency. Results are much more predictable than with traditional prompts. Efficiency. Fewer iterations needed to get what you're looking for. Professionalism. Results look more cinematic and polished. Flexibility. Multiple styles and approaches for the same concept. Disadvantages. We have a medium resolution of 720 pixels and a maximum duration of 8 seconds. It only works with models that support this methodology. At the moment, it only works with VO3 for generating videos, and also with ChatGPT if you want to generate specific images. It works better with brands and concepts that the AI already knows. You have very minimal time to generate more scenes. With 8 seconds, you can only create long sequences in a single generation. The most important limitation you should understand is that at the moment, we can only generate videos starting from text descriptions. We can't upload an image of our own product and ask it to generate a video based on that image. You can do that if you already have a plan within Google Gemini, but it will be much more expensive if you want to start from an image. A very special thanks to Freebeat for giving me credits and being able to play with all these tools. And there you have it, everything you need to know to create incredible videos using JSON prompts in Freebeat. The key is to experiment, be specific in your descriptions, and understand both the possibilities and limitations of current technology. If you made it this far, I also invite you to follow my channel, give this video a like, and watch this other video where I also explain how to generate commercial videos using AI. And see you next time. Bye bye.